Welcome back to the Big Dogs Gotta Eat Fantasy Football channel. I apologize for the long delay between videos. As always, I am accompanied by my two fellow Big Dogs, Nick Isidori, Georgie Bueno. It is August, which means it's officially Fantasy Football Draft Month.
Unless you're our league where we draft in September.
True. You should not actually draft in August. But now that training camp is opened up, we want to take a look at some of the running back battles that are going on. So we're going to get into Cleveland, ATL, Dallas, and at the end we're going to get into some running back sleepers that should be on your draft board this summer. Before we go any further, we have to thank our sponsors.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
For providing us
with no fucking money.
with all the goods that get us through our episodes. Monster.
And Funyuns.
Funyuns, man.
Special shout out to Nutrisystem. Special
shout out to Nutrisystem. Special shout out to the retarded guy from Half Baked who says funnies, man. So yeah, let's get it started. Okay, let's start with Cleveland. Last year we had Isaiah Crowell and Terrance West as rookies. They kind of came out and spearheaded the running game there in Cleveland. They both performed well, but neither of them really came out as the top back. So that's kind of where we're left off this offseason. The Browns went ahead and drafted Duke Johnson out of Miami, who had a really good career in Miami. But it kind of leaves a lot of uncertainty in the Cleveland backfield for right now. Actually, as of this video, Terrance West and Duke Johnson both left today's training camp practice with injuries, but we're going to assume that they're going to be back in a week or so. So disregard any injuries that happened.
Unless they turn out to be like super severe and neither of them are playing.
Then we'll cover that.
We'll touch base on that.
But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the kind of running back battle going on in Cleveland?
Well, I like West over Crowell. I know Crowell had 8 touchdowns and gets the bulk of the goal line carries, but West led the team in carries last year and yards. I think he's personally a better runner, but I think Cleveland's gonna ride the hot hand, so it can go either way. But we'll see what happens.
I agree. I am team Terrance West in this case. Isaiah Crowell puts the ball on the ground too much. He put it down 1 every 50 carries last year, so that's, you figure you get 20 carries a game. It's pretty much almost 1 every other game, and that's not what you want. And I like Terrance West better than Crowell, just because I don't think Crowell's going to see as much touches as he did last year, especially because I think Duke Johnson's going to sneak up and catch a couple balls. The few balls that they throw, he's going to catch them, so that splits the carries between first and second down between the two guys. So. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to kind of see either of the backs really emerging as the top dog there, just based on what they did last year. And in training camp, they've both run with the ones. Terrance West got the start in the first practice, Crowell the next. So, in my opinion, I see Crowell as the better back all around, just from watching him play. I think his style of run goes better with the run heavy offense that they have in Cleveland. I think Crowell emerges as the early down and the goal line back. West, I think the carries kind of go like 70-30 Crowell. It doesn't give Crowell a ton of upside, but given how much they run the ball, I like Crowell at where he's being drafted of, I think it's around 75. So I think there's some value there. Like I said, West left with an injury, so we have to keep an eye on that. But as in terms of Duke Johnson, they really only see him as a third down back and a pass catching back, but Cleveland Browns threw the ball to their running backs less than any team in the entire NFL last year. They had a total of 48 targets go to the running backs, which is literally three targets a game. So if Duke Johnson got every single one of those targets, he'd have 48, which is obviously not going to happen because Crowell and West are going to get some of those. For Johnson's value, I really don't see him as anything better than a late round flyer in like PPR leagues. I'm staying away from him in standard. Yeah. I think the hype's gotten out of control with him.
West is getting drafted like 30 spots after Crowell too, and based on the stats last year, Crowell got 23 less carries than West, so I still think on this side for Cleveland, West has more upside, but
Well, you take the value because their values are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So you take the value later on.
Okay, right. So, all right. So we're gonna move on to my dirty birds.
Boo!
We have
They're gonna get fucking stomped out.
Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson, shut your mouth. So are they playing that? They're at
Giants
G-Man.
home opener.
We're going to that game.
Oh,
it's the Giants G-Man home opener.
Oh.
How much are tickets?
Like 130.
Perfect.
Maybe if you
Okay,
fucking
so
put the fucking
Steve,
advertisements
bro,
out,
like, shut
we would
up.
have some fucking money from our fucking webcast that we can fucking just pay for that to go to the game.
You should know. Anyways, Steven Jackson is out in Atlanta, meaning there's only Devonta Freeman and the newly drafted rookie Tevin Coleman kind of battling for the number one running back spot in the Kyle Shanahan offense. Freeman played last year. He didn't get a ton of carries, didn't get a ton of work, but I think he was good in the work that he did get. In my opinion, I don't see either of these backs running away with the position. I know a lot of people are high on Coleman. They think he might, take over as a feature back there and get all the carries. I don't think there's any way that happens. As a Falcon fan, I watched Freeman play a lot last year, and he reminds me a lot of Darren Sproles, Gio Bernard type back. Although I don't see him getting all the carries, I still think he's going to cut into a lot of Coleman's work. Coleman will probably be starting by week 4, maybe 5, but I still see Freeman getting at least 35-40% of the carries there. What do you think?
I'm on Coleman's board. I think he is an explosive runner from what I saw in college last year. I mean, he put up a ridiculous 7.5 yards per carry at Indiana, and over 2,000 yards. I think week 4 is probably a good assessment of that, but I think it could be earlier. I think he's going to be the number 1 guy in Atlanta moving forward.
Not really sure here. I think Devonta Freeman gets the job at the beginning of the season, and I think his frame's a little small. He runs like a big man, but his frame isn't a big man frame. He's 5'8", so he could take a pounding, and that leaves room for Tevin Coleman, who's 6'1", to get goal line carries, which are touchdowns, are fantastic fantasy football, obviously, and Devonta Freeman is probably going to catch the balls, but I see Coleman being a hard runner, getting those short yards.
Yeah, like you said, Coleman's the way bigger back, and if there's going to be a guy that emerges as the number 1, it's going to be Coleman. He's 6'1". He's got breakaway speed. He had like 14 of his 28 touchdowns at Indiana came from over 40 yards out. So he hits the home run like all the time, which is perfect for Kyle Shanahan's zone style of running. But that being said, Freeman's a very good pass catcher. He's really athletic, shifty in space, so he's not going anywhere. He's going to take work away. But I think Coleman gives good value at where he's being picked in drafts right now. I also think Freeman's going like after pick 100, after 110. So I think both of them have a spot in fantasy this year.
Yeah, I love the Kyle Shanahan thing. I think that's an underrated. Everywhere he's gone, he's always been predominantly run. Like last year with Cleveland,
yeah,
he had they had the 6th most rushing attempts per game or overall.
Yeah, exactly. Roddy White already hinted that the Atlanta offense is going to be way more balanced. Yeah. So I think both of them are going to get their share of touches. Coleman has RB1 upside, but I just don't think he's going to have the opportunities to get there. I think he's going to be an RB2 though by season's end, definitely. All right, we are going to move on to the Dallas Cowboys, where we saw DeMarco Murray absolutely run away with the rushing title last year. Now he's gone. Is there going to be anyone to fill his footsteps in both real football, fantasy football? Clearly, there's Joseph Randle, and then there's Darren McFadden. There's people picking sides, and my personal opinion, I have Joseph Randle stepping in and taking the majority of carries as a starter there. But what do you guys think comes within Randle being a starter?
I mean, we didn't see much of him last year, obviously, because like Nick said, Murray just ran away with everything. And behind that offensive line, I think Randle has a good shot to put up some decent numbers. Because last year there were some spots where he was in the game. He showed glimpses of some big time potential, but he's never been an number 1 back, so we can't really tell yet what he's going to do. And Darren McFadden just, please,
sucks.
Don't even get started.
You got a guy who's getting his first chance as compared to a guy who's gotten fucking 7 chances, and the guy who's gotten fucking 7 chances sucks fucking dick. He scored fucking 2 touchdowns last year. Fucking 2. Joseph Randle scored fucking 3.
Yeah,
all right? And he only had 61 carries.
I think Joseph Randle has a stranglehold on the number 1 job until
Correction.
Proven otherwise.
Way to keep it family friendly. Yeah. So Jerry Jones basically said it's Randle's job to lose. I don't think there's really a doubt. I don't think there's really a doubt that Randle's not going to be the starter opening up.
Free bang.
The question is whether or not he can, he could really capitalize on the featured workload. Because, like you said, he had 51 attempts last year. With that, he was over six yards a carry. He played really well. I mean, obviously they have the best running blocking line in the league. So that's gonna make everyone look good, except for Darren McFadden, probably, aka Walk DMC. But McFadden hurt his leg in OTAs, and then he injured himself again. The other leg in a pillow fight. So right now it's not even a lock for McFadden to make the roster, to be honest with you. So right now Joseph Randle is looking like the safe bet to run away with the number one spot there. There's tons of potential at his ADP right now of 53. It's a 6th-round pick. I think that's worth the bargain, honestly, and I think that's gonna
with that line
up by the time.
I see him as like a 4th-round pick in some of these. I see people reaching on
stat line. What do you predict? What do you predict Joseph Randle's stat line? Yards, touchdowns.
Yards, 900 yards and 7 touchdowns.
That's not great production. That's low
RB2,
RB3.
I'm gonna give him based on that line and from what I saw last year in the spurts. I'm gonna give him 1,300 yards.
1,300.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little nervous about his actual ability, but honestly, in the position, there's nothing there unless the Cowboys go out and sign maybe like a Chris Johnson. I saw Steven Jackson tweeted at the Cowboys. Yeah,
he wanted.
Yeah, honestly, Steven Jackson wasn't horrible last year for the Falcons. If they signed him, that would absolutely destroy Randle's potential because he'll take all the goal line.
We'd have to do a new video.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think Randle right now, I put him at probably total yards, probably 1,100, 1,200 yards, and you gotta think 8 to 10 touchdowns with that role. I don't know.
They've said their offensive game plan is not going to change. They're going to go in with the same game plan they had last year. So we'll see if that works.
It's all the same pieces minus DeMarco Murray. So something's got to give there.
It wasn't a fucking catch.
All right. So now that we broke down the running back battles in Cleveland, Dallas, and Atlanta, we're going to do a couple sleepers to keep your eye on. So I'm going to start it off in Detroit with my boy, the rookie out of Nebraska, Amir Abdullah.
Abdullah
Abdullah. So basically, Joique Bell's been the go-to back in Detroit for the last 2 years, but Bell underwent knee surgery and Achilles surgery this offseason. He's 30 years old. He hasn't participated in any OTAs, any training camp. So basically, Abdullah is taking the majority of the first team reps. Abdullah is like a beast in every way at the running back position. He runs good. He's got great burst. He can pass block. The only knock on him is basically his size. He's only like 5'9", but we've seen guys like Ray Rice, Maurice Jones-Drew excel at that size. It doesn't matter. Abdullah can do it all. He can catch passes. He can run for the home run. I mean, this guy can do it all. I'm telling you, he's gonna bust out this year in a big way. Right now, he's going, I think, in the 80s overall, running back 33 possibly. But I'm telling you, Abdullah's going to be the starter there by week 4 probably, if not earlier. Bell might eat away a little bit of the goal line work, but in PPR formats, Abdullah is going to be a monster this year.
I'm going to go with Rashard Jennings of my New York Giants. No, that's not why I'm picking him.
Fraud.
Now. Going in, he's the 74th overall player right now, the 30th running back. All the reports are saying that he's come to training camp healthy as can be. Last year, the Giants signed him to be the number 1 guy. It didn't really pan out. He only played 11 games. He's still the number 1 guy going in this year, and they want to keep him that title until he gets injured. Knock on wood. People think Andre Williams is the second coming of I don't know who. I don't know why he gets so much rage.
Fraud.
He averaged 3.3 yards a carry. That's abysmal. He could see the goal line, but I'm just not very high on him.
It's just an explosive offense, man.
Yeah.
Jennings he's going to put in that work.
Tom Coughlin has always been run first guy, and with the Giants' weapons outside, that box is gonna be wide open. They're gonna have to cover everybody on the outside.
The only time you ever have a wide open box.
The only time people who play fantasy football have a wide open box.
That one didn't come out right, huh? Shane Vereen's there too, but he's more of a pass catching guy. He's no real threat to take Jennings' carries, so late round value. I could see good things coming from Rashad Jennings.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least.
Sleeper numero Trice.
Last but not least, probably a player that all of you were cursing at your TVs last year. But I'm going to say Big Doug Martin has a huge comeback here.
A little post-hype sleeper.
Post-hype sleeper.
Yeah, I like it.
He was hyped, and they frauded out, and now he's going to bounce back off the fraud. All right? So he's drafting around late 9, early 10, around 91. He's a clear-cut number 1 there at Tampa Bay. Chris Sims is a fraud. 2.2 yards a carry
That's
last year.
how fraudulent he is. He doesn't even know his name. He doesn't even know it's Charles.
Charles, yeah, fucking fraudulent name. Chris Sims, quarterback. Beast.
Quarterback.
Yeah, Charles Sims sucks. All right, so Doug Martin. Jesus, Doug Martin?
Douglas.
Douglas?
Yeah, you're good.
Douglas, all right. Doug Martin has been reported as coming into camp in the best shape of his life. And through the draft, the Bucs drafted famous Jameis Winston with the first pick. And their second-round picks were both offensive linemen. So, combine a rookie quarterback with weapons on the outside, you're going to look to run the ball with a guy who actually did well 2 years ago.
Yeah, he had that monster season, obviously, but he's dropped 15 pounds this offseason.
He looks good.
He played at 225 last year. He's down to 210. Yeah, they said he's had the best offseason.
I like him. I like him in the 10th round.
Career.
10th round.
Yeah, definitely some post-hype sleep city right there. Post-hype sleep city.
Post-fraudulent.
Post-fraudulent. That's what we get. You know what? There's no such thing as a fucking bust anymore. You're just a fraud.
Fraudulent.
You're a fraudulent.
On all accounts.
We're gonna make that.
Bernie Madoff.
No more busts.
Big. That's
Frauds.
No, bust is not a word used in fantasy football anymore. You're just a fraud now. All right, so that wraps it up for this episode. Big Dog's Gotta Eat. Talked about the running back battles in Dallas, Atlanta, and in Cleveland. Hit you with 3 sleepers at the running back position. Next episode, we're gonna get into the wide receiver position.
And if I was Coochie.
And thank you for joining us as always. If you don't already, follow us on Twitter at BDGE_fantasyFB. Go check out the website, bigdogsgottaeat.gov. I'm kidding, bro. It's .com.
Government official yet.
.government.
And if anybody working for Monster or Funyuns is looking at this, start sending some fucking money our
Please
way.
hook a brother up. We love y'all.
A trip to the Super Bowl would be really cool.
Yeah, so
trip to Vegas to do our fantasy draft. That
So
would
like
also
our
be really
shit. If
cool.
you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe.
If you don't like it, don't fucking hit thumbs down. Just don't watch it again. But tell your friends you don't like it so they will watch
Tell your friends about me. That's it. Fuck this
it.
noise.
We could be friends.
We could be friends.